4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the May 4th Select Board regular meeting of the Long Meadow Select Board. Start with my spiel. This is Select Board Chair Josh Levine. I will be confirming that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Dan Zwerko.
Here.
Benith Mavathi.
Here.
Andrew Lamb.
Here.
Shelley Maynard DeWolf.
Here.
Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Lynn Simmons.
Here.
This open meeting of the Long Meadow Select Board is convened in person and via Zoom webinar as posted on the agenda, the town's website identifying how the public may join. There is no chat or Q&A function. All of the materials for this meeting are available on the agenda posted on longmeadowma.gov. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless I note otherwise. This meeting will feature resident comment. For residents attending the meeting in person, please raise your hand when we get to the comments section of the meeting, and I will call on you to approach the microphone. For residents participating in the meeting via Zoom webinar format, please use the raise hand icon at the bottom of the screen. The meeting moderator will promote you to panelist, unmute you, and give you permission to speak. If you join the webinar by phone, dial *9 to raise your hand and *6 to unmute. Residents who wish to speak will identify their names and addresses only. Each individual is afforded 3 minutes for comments. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that some attendees are participating by video conference. Please remember to mute your phone or computer when you are not speaking. If anyone in attendance is recording this meeting, please announce yourself now. Seeing none.
I'm just getting this still set up, so I don't see anyone in the Zoom.
Okay, so you're just, what you're trying to do is put it up on that screen now?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
So you can keep going. We're
Okay.
good.
Let's move on to the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll start with announcements. Annual Town Meeting, reminder, Annual Town Meeting is set for Tuesday, March 12th at 7 p.m. at Long Meadow High School. For additional information and to view the warrant, please visit longmeadowma.gov/townmeeting. Annual Town Election. The Annual Town Election will be held on Tuesday, June 2nd, 2026. Polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Election information, including dates for early voting, voter registration deadline, and other resources can be found at longmeadowma.gov/elections. Future Planet Fiesta. The second annual Future Planet Fiesta will take place on Saturday, May 9th, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the town green. The Future Planet Fiesta is a collaborative event organized by Youth Fighting for a Sustainable Future, the First Church Environmental Justice Committee, with support from the LHS Climate Change Club and the Center School Green Club. This year's events will feature workshops on composting, recycling, and lowering energy use, information on alternative energy options such as solar power, vegetarian and vegan food options, local organizations and businesses promoting sustainable practices, and hands-on learning opportunities. Future Planet Fiesta is designed to bring our community together around solutions, empowerment, and hope for a better planet. We have no one here for announcements, unless Chief Stocks, are you planning to speak for announcements?
I was not.
Okay, or resident comments, I should say. Anybody online then?
No.
Okay, great. All right, we'll move right on to kudos and plaudits. This is regarding, this is from Elizabeth Bone, Andrew Chase, and Arlene Miller, report on Long Meadow Earth Day Cleanup 2026. On April 18th, 2026, teams of volunteers spread out over 11 sites throughout Long Meadow to pick up trash, litter, debris, and items illegally dumped throughout the town. This is the 6th annual event that has been held in town, and each year the teams continue to find such items as tires, mattresses, furnishings such as toilets and cabinets, and the almost countless empty nip bottles that litter our green spaces. There's a list here of the 11 places that were cleaned. And who does this work? Team participation includes various Long Meadow scouting groups, high school student clubs, and families willing to spend a few hours picking up trash and improve the quality of life in Long Meadow. continue to find large items that are simply dumped in areas that are hard to see from the road or field. And there's a lot of plastic that is dumped, whether soda, water bottles, or nip bottles. There were well over 400 nip bottles collected. Each item that is picked up is brought to a central drop-off site that is staffed by the incredible Recycling Commission volunteers. They go through all the bags brought in, sort out the trash that is thrown away, as well as the litter that can be washed and recycled. It's tedious and exhausting, and the commission members continue to step up and do the work. The Longmeadow Green cleaners noted potential hazard, where there was lines placed for gas, water, and other lines. And there was many bent down flags, so they're doing some public work, public good, noting these areas of concern. So I would like to thank the Recycling Commission. I know Dan was there. I'm not sure if any of the other members were there, but I appreciate everyone who volunteered, and I'm sure I speak for the rest of the board on that. Anybody else on kudos and plaudits?
I should add that Vineet also joined me for the.
And my son.
Oh, yeah, and your son.
Oh, right.
I think your son actually found a tire, which
Yeah.
we helped him with, so.
We still have a massive collection of lacrosse balls, because we cleaned next to Blueberry, between
Oh, yeah.
Blueberry and the wall, and we must have taken home 30. So we're slowly losing them again. Yeah, it's a great event, and it's really fantastic to see folks stepping up and doing what they can to keep our town beautiful. Okay, moving on to select board comments. Go ahead, Vineet.
Thank you, Josh. So I do have a select board comment, but I also wanted to ask Chief, are you here for the dog hearing or something else?
Just the dog hearing.
Okay.
I can ad lib if you need.
No, it's just because sometimes we make you stick around for hours, so I was gonna make a motion to move it up
That's
if you had
what I
something
assumed,
else. Okay, great. So for my comment, I just wanted to quickly mention the warrant night that we had last week. I thought it was a great event. We haven't done that since I've been on the select board, and I think especially when you have a night as nice as it was last Monday, you're never sure how many folks are going to show up or anything like that, but we had so many people come, and I think unsurprisingly the fiber article was the one that I think got the most attention, and we had folks of all different ages come and ask great questions and engage. We had an 85-year-old resident who came in who didn't know much about it and left saying that he was going to support Article 7 because he wanted to invest in Longmeadow's future. I think another resident who was a friend of Andrew's came by and talked about how he has a home in Maine that's in a remote area and how it frustrates him to no end that he has fiber at that home but not here in Longmeadow. And I think very eloquently talked about how much better it is to have a town-owned utility versus if a private company came in and provided that same fiber internet. So it was really great, and I think we're also seeing just the amount of attention that this issue is getting. I mean, it's been on the front page of the Republican twice in the last week. We've seen other news outlets pick it up as well, and I think the interest is really because the flood of dark money that we're seeing here is unprecedented, and I think folks are really interested to see how Longmeadow responds to that. Last year, Southwick went through the same thing that we're going through now when they had a town meeting vote that needed a 2/3 majority, and they were also flooded with the same kind of money. And when talking with some of the select board members out in Southwick, what they told me was, watch out for this last week before a town meeting, because this is when things kind of just get really out of hand. In Southwick last year, they had mass priorities, door knockers, going to homes, representing themselves as Town of Southwick employees, which caused a lot of problems for them. And, they said to kind of, be on the lookout for things like that. And we're kind of seeing some of that happen now too. I mean, we're seeing, mass priorities create fake Facebook accounts or pretend to be town residents and spam folks and do all that stuff. So, this is going to be something that I think, we're gonna have to just be vigilant about, watch out for, making sure we're getting information out there. But I think what is, after seeing all this and, experiencing all of this, I think, they have gone so far out of their way to try to cast doubt on the take rate projections, the strength of the financial models, of fiber's viability as a long-term infrastructure. And I think what we have seen is that nobody believes in the take rate projections or the strength of the financial models or fiber's long-term infrastructure. Nobody believes in that more than Comcast and Mass Priorities, because otherwise they wouldn't be spending, tens of thousands of dollars trying to kill this. Because, they're smart. They've seen how this has worked in every town in Western Mass, and they know that they are going to lose customers if it comes to pass here, and so they're trying to kill it before it can even get off the ground. So, for everything they're doing to try to cast doubt on it, I think their actions show that they know that this is going to work better than anyone else. So, I think in the spirit of the warrant night that we had last week, I hope, and I know some of the town staff have mentioned too, that folks have actually even walked into town offices and have asked questions and tried to learn more about the project. And, I would just encourage folks to continue to do that. And hopefully, we can have a vote next week that's not, the story isn't about how much dark money influenced that vote, but it's about how Longmeadow was able to actually make a decision without any of that influence.
Well, thanks, Vineeth. If I could just piggyback on that a bit, just on the event, I thought Lynn and the rest of your staff, really grateful that was put together. I thought it was it's more of what we would love town government to be, where people came in genuinely curious, had some great conversations. I was not at one of the more exciting tables, but I had some good conversations, and I kind of caught some of the outflow from fiber, so I did get some conversation with people coming that way. But there were a few who just walked through to every table and said, "So what are you doing? Tell me about this." And it was really nice. So I think it's a very helpful thing, and we shouldn't just limit it to years when we have a big question. There's always something big. So so thank you for putting that together, and I think it went great. And just I wanted to, while I'm talking, just one more thing that we were talking right before the meeting started. There was somebody spoofed a town email address and asked a applicant or a citizen petitioner for the town meeting next week for a fee for review, and it looked very good. It was if you weren't paying close attention, or even if you were, you could say this seems legitimate. Thankfully, Mr. Friedman did not pay it and sent it to us and said, "What is this all about?" And we were able to flag it, and it just happened to my law firm as well. It's something that people should continue to keep an eye out for. It's very sophisticated. We're seeing a lot of sophisticated scams that, to the extent we can protect our residents, we certainly should. I noticed, to jump ahead a little bit, that there was a victim of a Bitcoin scam at one of the ATMs, which we have on the ballot next week, or on the warrant next week. But just keep your eyes open and trust and verify. Anybody else? Dan? Go ahead.
Thanks, Josh. On Saturday, I attended the Western Mass MMA rural event, where every year MMA puts on an event where they come out to Western Mass. I've been going to that since I was elected, and this year some of the topics were talking really about, at the state level, figuring out better mechanism to divide up the funds more evenly when it comes to like our schools, our roads. We seem to get the short end of the stick. So just the overall equation that they're going to be looking at more closely, which should hopefully benefit communities like Longmeadow. And then the other topic they just mentioned as well, which I thought resonated well with Longmeadow, is we're all facing a lot of the same struggles as our counterparts across the Commonwealth, especially around staffing. So they didn't really go into what other communities are doing, but the Lieutenant Governor, that's on their radar. Other town managers are in the same boat as us. So Longmeadow's not alone, but I just wanted to share. They did send over the slides I can share with the select board if you'd be interested. And then I probably should have brought this up earlier, but on the kudos, I wanted to credit Vineeth for recently being named the executive director of Mass Housing. So I know that's quite an accomplishment, especially in your young age and your impressive resume. So I just wanted to applaud you for that. And then Andrew, you got to help me out. You went to your conference and you got to speak in front of everyone, and you were, I think, the honorary chair. So I wanted to commend you for being honored to speak in front of the whole group. So that's all that I had. But thanks, Josh.
I just disagree that Vineeth is that young.
I think we're the youngest select board in the history of the town.
I think
Everyone's
so.
under 50. Way under 50.
Okay, if nothing further, we will, we have, the dog hearing is set for 7:30, and we have to wait for that time. So why don't we move on to our
Or
application?
Can I make a motion? Can I move to, move the quarterly investment report up so we can get Erica out of here?
That's very kind
Oh,
of you,
wow.
yes,
That's a
good idea.
Good call.
Oh, let me move her in. Apologies.
I think I need a second though, right?
Second.
I hope she's ready.
Yeah, she may not be ready.
It's usually 10 o'clock.
Can't say you tried.
Let's see if she's ready, and then we
Yeah.
can,
There she comes.
that owl just won't leave me alone.
There we go.
I'm ready.
Oh, great. All right, thank you,
Good
Erica.
evening, guys. Thank you for bumping me up. I appreciate
Well,
that.
we haven't bumped you up yet. Let's, we just got to vote. All right, I have a motion and a second to take this item out of order. Any further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor? Unanimous? Okay, great. All right, Erica, thank you very much. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm here tonight to submit my quarterly investment report for the period ending March 31st, 2026. As per the investment policy, the town held no long-term investments that exceeded the 5-year limit. The individual bank balances were under the $20 million balance provision. All banks received the highest safety ratings of green from VeraBank except for Newburyport Savings Bank and Bank ESB, which I'll come back to that. And all accounts were fully insured or secured. In the third quarter of fiscal year 2026, we have seen interest rates continue to decrease. Most noteworthy, People's Bank reduced the rate on our general fund, school lunch, and student activity accounts from 3.73% to 3.31%. Munson Savings Bank, however, offered a short-term rate increase on our general funds, raising the previous 1% to 4.1%. We did end up moving a bunch of money in there to take advantage of that increased rate. The treasurer and assistant treasurer are closely monitoring interest rates and moving funds to the appropriate accounts that will optimize investments with the best return. Bank ESP changed from a green VeraBank rating to a yellow status. The bank's government banking officer has assured me that this is only temporary and we will see a restoration to green status next period. Newburyport Bank, however, remained yellow for a second consecutive quarter. We have begun to move funds from this institution, and should the status remain yellow for a third consecutive quarter, we will remove all funds within 90 days, per the investment policy. Please see attached for the correspondence with representatives from both institutions. Additionally, we have been advised that Adams Community Bank will be merging with Pittsfield Cooperative Bank. The merger is set to complete in late fall 2026, subject to regulatory approvals. No changes to our current banking structures have changed at this time. Additionally, the OPEB Pension Reserve Fund experienced a loss in quarterly interest. The quarter ended with a net decrease of approximately $84,000, and the March 31st balance of the fund is approximately $9.6 million. Also noteworthy, during the last quarter, the town earned a total of $342,464.69 in interest. The Treasurer's Office will continue to seek the best possible interest rates and diversify funds appropriately to maximize investment potential while being in compliance with Massachusetts state laws and regulations. We will also continue to monitor all accounts and ensure the safety and security of all our investments.
All right, thank you, Erica. I have a few questions. The declining interest rates, we're all seeing it, I think, a bit, and it's something that I'm glad you're staying on top of. Do you work with the town manager's office and the CFO's office on discussing the future projections on the interest rates and how we're looking quarter to quarter?
Not directly with the town manager's office, but Ian and I have conversations about the interest and where we see it going. We've had those types of conversations, but not directly with Lynn or Mike.
Okay. And so Newburyport, that's, I'm glad you're on top of that, but I noticed that is one of our currently highest interest rates. Where are you planning to put that money if we do need to pull it out?
So People's Bank has had a competitive rate. Theirs has been adjusting depending with the Fed. When they adjust their interest rates, they've been going up or down with them. But theirs is still fairly competitive with Newburyport Bank. Newburyport was at 3.5, and I think even since the date of this report, the interest rate has come down more. They also adjust their rates depending on how much is in the account. So the more money we take out of there, the lower the interest rate goes.
Okay. All right, thank you. Any other questions from the rest of the board? Okay. Well, you can still go out and enjoy some sunlight.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good night, everyone.
You as well, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, we still have a bit of time. Why don't we go back up now, unless anyone feels otherwise, and do our one-day applications.
All right, I will move to approve the one-day liquor license application submitted by the Long Meadow Adult Center Community Fund for May 28th, 2026.
Second.
Any further? All those in favor?
All right, and, go ahead. It's all you.
I'll try it. All right, can I do both same, do you do them individually since it's the same person, or do them individually? So I'll make a motion to approve the St. Mary's Guild application for Wednesday, May 20th.
Second.
Any further? All those in favor?
Make a motion to accept St. Mary's Parish one-day application for May 28th.
Second.
Any further? All those in favor? Okay. All right, moving on, anyone to discuss, or anyone like to discuss anything from correspondence? Okay. And Lynn, can you do your town manager's report?
Yep. Okay. So Long Meadow Street, Converse Street, L project update. Marias is proposing overnight work on the project from May 11th to May 14th for 10-hour nights, and May 18th to May 21st, also for 10-hour nights. The intention is to start in the evening as soon as traffic subsides, which should be around 7 p.m. Earlier if possible, but they want to start no later than 8 p.m. A proposed detour plan is still under review by the DPW and the police department. Bliss and Reynolds pool updates, so this one's a little bit long, but we've got a lot going on at both pools to get them ready to open on time. For Bliss, Reynolds Pool, while the DPW was doing the work, the design work on phase 2 of the pool renovations to install the new liner, engineers discovered that the current shell at Bliss is made of aluminum, which is really rare. Unfortunately, that means any attempt to make an alteration to the pool structure should a leak emerge, which it's not currently leaking, but this would require drastic alterations to the pool. All the plumbing leading in and out of the pool would need to be altered, and a large area of the deck would need to be replaced. The current estimates for that work is about $2 million. So for now, all the capital work has concluded at Reynolds Pool, and we, myself, the select board, and DPW now need to decide if we want to turn back the unspent funds or repurpose them for another use, or if we want to try to move ahead with additional repairs there. But at this point, the DPW and my office do not recommend moving forward with additional plumbing or decking work. We think we should leave it as is and decide what the next step would be. And DPW staff has been making plans for the annual pool opening. Work included upgrades to the cleanouts and distribution system, and procurement advertised our annual maintenance and chemical contract. The only bid was from Connecticut Custom Aquatics. They will be addressing the chlorine issue that keeps plaguing the kiddie pool, and we're hoping that we'll be able to get that up and running. And keeping the kiddie pool consistently open is another issue. We have challenges maintaining pH levels, as you can imagine, with a small, shallow pool with a lot of little kids in it. It's tough to maintain that, so that's why you see it intermittently closed throughout the day. But Bliss Pool will be open on schedule for its normal pool season. That's expected to start open on weekends, June 13th. Greenwood updates.
Lynn,
Yep.
that's a lot, so why don't we just
Sorry.
pause there for a sec? No, that's okay. So how much unspent money is there?
I want to say it's about $700,000, but I will verify that specific amount.
And what was that initially tabbed for?
They were doing decking and plumbing work,
Okay.
but they
But
now
not
know.
the storage shed?
Right, no, that
Okay.
was a late addition.
Okay.
That's a separate, right, that's an additional, the shed.
Yeah,
Can I
that was
follow on,
a
Josh?
different
Good.
project.
So it's basically money we were gonna use to fix things, but now we realize because of this aluminum liner, wow, if we tried to do these things, it would open Pandora's box,
Yep.
essentially.
Yep,
And then there's no, so it's great that it's ready to go and we're gonna open on time. And there's no reason to think the aluminum liner will leak, right?
Right.
There's no reason to think it's gonna be a catastrophe someday, okay.
How did we not know this? Is the liner, so there's a
Yeah.
liner, the shell,
Is
and
that
then
a
the
surprise?
liner?
Why is it a
So we-
surprise?
I don't know that, well, one is, we've had a lot of historical turnover in departments. So anyone that would have been there for the time that maybe there was some serious modifications at the pool and would have known what it was constructed out of, they're not there anymore. In terms
Oh,
of what
I-
type of records there are, like with engineering.
Like, even
when
just
they-
looking at it, like, you can't, you see the
Oh.
liner, not the aluminum's behind the liner?
Correct,
Okay.
right, yes.
I'm
Sorry.
not accusing anybody of not knowing, it seems like,
Yeah, it's not, you're not looking
I feel
in
like in
at
the
an
last
aluminum
5 or 6
liner.
years we replaced the liner, if I recall. I don't remember exactly, but anyway, I'm glad the pool is operational. I agree with, the town, man, you were saying that pretty much all of our staff agree, let's just use it and leave it and enjoy it at this point.
I do hope we see a gangbuster summer at the pool. And just on this point, it's on your report, I believe, but one of my neighbors sent an email about, she has younger kids and was asking about pool floaties and, because if she went by herself, she had 3 young kids, couldn't do it, didn't have enough arms to have all of her kids in the pool. And they've changed the policy this year to allow Coast Guard approved flotation devices. So I think that will really hopefully help families to have a safer way to go to the pool and to get more use out of it. So I think it's something that's really important for us to get out there because it'll make it much more popular, I think.
And then I think we talked about this a few meetings ago, or maybe last year. We are gonna have a more holistic conversation around the pools though, correct? I mean, especially given this finding with the liner, the improvements needed to the plumbing, I think, and then the potential for a new shed. I do think it makes sense for us to look at it from a financial perspective to see, one, what's the usage through this season for both pools? And then let's tally up, what is the total cost to bring these up to where they need to be, one, from an ADA perspective, but then also just how much that would actually cost the town to have 2 pools maintenance, upgraded and running. Just given the constraints, I know that we're all under from a budget perspective. I know this can be a very costly item for us. I think it might make sense for us to have a holistic conversation around the pools.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Jumping actually back to the first item, is there a reason the contractor is asking for these overnight shifts for this period of time?
Yeah, it's for the main intersection.
Oh, okay.
I want to say it's Forest Glen and Long Meadow Street, but it may be Converse and Long Meadow. I will get that specifics.
I think this
Converse
is
and
always
Long Meadow?
part of the plan.
Converse and Long Meadow.
The network was always part of the plan.
Yes.
right?
Yep. And this isn't new to us. We had to do it for the water sewer work.
Yeah.
And obviously, anyone that's driven through there, which is all of us, you know how difficult that is during the day, so.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know if something had come up that changed, or was the
No.
reason that
Yep.
they were asking for this or not? Okay, thank you.
And one more quick question around the 700,000 that's kind of not being used now. Is that something we can earmark for road upgrades, or is it just specific to things like parks and recs? Is there any limitations for how we could use that for?
It has to go back to town meeting to reappropriate to another use.
Okay.
Do you need a motion from us to turn back, or you can just do it?
Not yet.
We can't do anything with it now.
Okay.
Once I get it, well, so to the point about the holistic review, that will likely happen sometime in October, around the same time that we're talking about the fall town meeting warrant.
Okay.
And so at that same time, we can talk about, or if you want it sooner, we could do it in September. We could talk about what else you'd like to use those funds for if we're not going to keep them for pool usage.
Okay.
By then we'll know how many, how well used the pools were during the summer, so that'll be good timing.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Do you want me to stop, because there might be more questions, and do the hearing and come back, or do you want me to keep going?
Yeah, why don't we, yeah, we still got some meaty stuff, so, yeah, why don't we put a pause, why don't you finish the Greenwood pool?
Okay.
And then we'll go.
So, Arment Construction has mobilized equipment to begin work finishing the drainage upgrades at Greenwood Pool that had started last year. It's expected to be complete within 3 weeks, and that will close out that capital project. Also, the procurement advertised the annual maintenance and chemical bid. Again, Connecticut Custom Aquatics was the only bidder. DPW has started their annual pool opening work, upgrades to the cleanout and distribution system, which protects against cold conditions better. And the pool is also expected to open on its regular schedule, June 13th. And in terms of getting prepared for that holistic conversation, DPW is having ongoing conversations with multiple engineering firms about the projected capital costs from operating both pools going forward. The biggest concern right now is obviously Bliss Pool, with the fire department informing the DPW that they need to build a separate chemical building some point in the near future. And we anticipate that cost to be about $500,000. We don't have any hard numbers or any drawings yet, but just with the way construction's been going. And then I will also be offering the Chat and Splash schedule again this year, where I do drop-in conversation hours at each pool location, and we have a schedule already developed. There's no pool entrance fee to come to one of those sessions, and it's weather dependent.
Okay, great, thank you. And just on, thank you to DPW and everyone involved in getting the pools ready. I'm glad that we'll have both open on time this year, and look forward to a longer conversation. Oh, I remember the question. Part of what we had to do at Bliss was change the ventilation for the chemical storage, but that was not enough. It's been determined?
Right.
Okay. Great. So let's move on. We have our dog hearing. Is Attorney Chaplin available?
Let's see, he wasn't in there a minute ago.
Uh-oh.
There he is.
So if anybody's here who plans to speak for the dog hearing, including you, Marty Lee, if you want to come up to the table, please.
Are all of you here for it?
Yes. Yeah, that's Margaret.
Okay. Ask anyone that had any dealings with the dog at all. 'Cause
Okay.
It's a very unique situation, so every single person has some kind of witnessing of the dog.
Great. All right, Attorney
Hi.
Chaplin, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you. Can we, is there any way to turn that up at all?
Maybe. Try.
How about now? Is that better?
I think it's on our side.
How about, try that.
You're maxed out anyways.
Is it?
Testing.
At least sounds better. All right, thank you, Attorney Chaplin. Appreciate you coming in, as always. Can you do your, we're asked your guidance in getting us through this hearing. And I think the first step would be, if I'm not incorrect, to open the public hearing?
That's correct. I can give a summary if you'd like, or we can wait until after we open the hearing, whichever works better for the
Now, why
board.
don't you go ahead?
So this type of hearing, which unfortunately we've become familiar with in Long Meadow and familiar with in other communities, you have a statute that says if you have an incident within a town, a complaint can be made to the select board, and the select board acts in their capacity as a statutory hearing authority. And the complaint that we've received in this case, which is typical in many communities, we've received a complaint from an animal control officer following an alleged incident. So the board's role this evening is twofold. First, it's to find, based on the evidence presented, whether the dog in question meets the statutory definition of a dangerous dog or a nuisance dog. And those are very specific definitions that are set forth within Chapter 140 of the General Laws, Section 136A. We'll get into that a little bit later. If the board finds that the dog fits within one of those definitions, then the statute says that the board has to order remedial measures. If the board finds that the dog's a nuisance dog, the statute's quite broad. The board can do effectively anything within reasonable bounds. If, however, the board finds that the dog is a dangerous dog, then there's 7 remedies that the statute provides, and the board has to choose between the 7. It can order 1 or more of the 7. And just to sort of distill it down at the outset to take the mystery out of it, a dangerous dog, as defined by the statute, is one that either commits an unprovoked attack that was not unreasonably disproportionate under the circumstances, or instills reasonable imminent fear of physical injury. A nuisance dog is either one that's attacked, but it's found to be a justified attack, or it's something of the nature of barking, which we're going to find later is not the nature of the complaint in this matter. So what we do is, this is an evidentiary hearing. The statute doesn't say that the rules of evidence strictly apply, so we don't strictly apply them, but being a lawyer and understanding that there could be court proceedings that come out of this hearing, I do try to lean more towards the side of following the rules of evidence. I certainly will swear each of the witnesses as they testify, and all who may testify, be forewarned, you're being sworn under oath, and it is legally required that you tell the truth. Also, because it's an evidentiary hearing, typically we limit the testimony to occurrences that are relevant to what the board has to determine, that folks have observed with their own 2 eyes, heard with their own 2 ears. So if there's an alleged incident and we have someone who's not an eyewitness to the alleged incident, we typically don't hear from them unless their testimony would go to something else, such as feasibility perhaps of remedial actions that the board might order, or something of that nature. So as is typical, I've talked for too much. I hope it's helpful. I'm here to assist the board and to help the process go as smoothly as possible.
Thank you. We are grateful for your guidance, and I'm sure we'll have lots of questions as we go. I will entertain a motion to open the public hearing regarding a nuisance or dangerous dog by complainant Lynn Rivera of 120 Wimbledon Avenue, or Drive.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, anything further? All those in favor? Okay. Attorney Chaplin, we first have Marty Lee Caramonte, our Animal Control Officer.
Hello?
Good evening, Marty Lee. Nice to see you virtually, albeit if you could please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matter now in hearing?
Yes.
Thank you. The floor is yours.
So this is a unique situation. I got a report a couple weeks ago of a dog charging at some people, scaring people, but there was no blood drawn, and they had stated that the dog did not live in the town. So I made it very clear that they could not have this dog running off leash and running at people. No quarantine was issued or anything because there was no blood drawn. And then a week later, I got called over there because the dog bit 2 people and a dog. And so the problem being that the reported owner is reportedly incarcerated, and there seems to be a lot of back and forth. All the people that were involved in the home where the dog was being kept, no one's taking real responsibility for the dog, and no one, other than the homeowner who says she doesn't want the dog there, but the dog has been staying there, the other people involved that were, quote, watching the dog, they can't give me any addresses, even though
Marty,
they've
wait-
been staying there. So then, I mean, this matters because
I know, but let's go way
legally.
back to the beginning. Tell us what happened. Tell us about the incidents.
Well, I just did. I said the first one, it went out after someone, so I've asked every single person that's had a incident with a dog to come and give their eyewitness, as you said. And then we did not think this was a Longmeadow dog, no blood was drawn, so that was a non-issue, we thought, a week later, but it matters because there's a precedent now. So then a week later, I got called out there, 2 people were bitten, and a dog, so there was blood drawn on all 3, and 2 went to the hospital. The dog is being kept in a kennel right now. I don't know legally what I can do. I don't want to release it to a family that's reportedly saying that the owner is incarcerated and that no one has an actual address. Everyone appears to have
So,
multiple addresses that they're staying at.
We'll get to all this, but let's talk about the incident, because this is a fact-finding.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm just the legality
I know, we're going to get to
placing
that.
it somewhere that
I
that plays into it. If
I
I
promise
had,
you we'll get to that.
okay.
Tell us what your understanding of what happened at the incident, or
What happened
was
at the
reported to
incident?
you?
Well, so again, I'm not an eyewitness, but I have everybody here. Would you rather hear from each person that actually, I came and took the dog?
Yes, so I would like to hear, if somebody would please come up.
I
and you
was
can-
bitten, and my dog.
So please, have a seat. Please introduce yourself, your name and address.
My name is
Yeah, please.
Margaret Scala. I live at 38 Wimbledon Drive in Long Meadow. I live on the same street.
Okay, please tell us what happened.
Oh, I think she needs to
Oh,
swear.
oh,
Mr. Chair, if I
sorry,
may,
yes.
could
Thank
I
you.
swear the witness? Ma'am, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matter now in hearing?
I do.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, April 23rd, taking my normal walk with my dog Bailey. I was coming down the street. I saw the dog. I'd never seen this dog before at this address. And he was in the driveway. And I noticed he just had a leash. And I said, it's a pit bull. Now, I love all animals, so I didn't assume anything. All of a sudden, the dog turned and he saw me and my dog. And he immediately ran towards me. I didn't know what to do. I said, I can't run because I didn't know if he's going to attack me and the dog. So I stood my ground. The dog approached my dog, Bailey, and immediately attacked him. Bit on his leg. I screamed to the owner, please get your dog. And he was pulling the dog, and my dog fell down, and he was in pain. He had blood coming out of his right paw. So I helped him pull the dog. I went down, picked up my leash, and he bit me. I never felt the bite. I just started screaming, help, help, help. And the neighbors came out and helped me get me and Bailey away from the situation.
The neighbors that own the dog, or watching the dog, or other neighbors?
Other neighbors
Okay.
that live on the street helped. And then an ambulance came and I was taken to Mercy and I received 17 stitches. 14 stitches. And my wound's infected. I have to go back Friday. And they can't remove 2 of the stitches. Got to see what happens with that. I do have pictures that I received from my doctor of the bite before and after. And that's it.
I'm very sorry to hear that this happened, and thank you for coming tonight to tell us.
Yep.
I know it can't be easy to talk about. Any questions, Lynn?
There is a person with the first name of Lynn in the Zoom with their hand raised, and I'm not sure, I've sent a chat to ask if they are the Lynn Rivera mentioned in the complaint, but they have not replied.
Okay, why don't we wait till you have a reply?
Okay.
Would anyone else, does anyone else have any questions?
So what kind of dog is Bailey?
He's a golden retriever.
Like 40 pounds?
He's an 80-pound, 85-pound dog.
Approximately how large was the pit bull? Or the,
It's hard for me to describe because I think with the incident and my adrenaline and everything, I can't give you specifics. It was a big, strong dog, black and white, I believe were the colors, and that's it. As soon as one of my neighbors helped me get out of the situation, I didn't look back. I just kept walking to get to my house.
and the neighbor that helped you, it was not their dog?
No,
So
no.
where the dog came from, did the people that live in that, did the residents or the homeowners that live in that house or were staying in the house, did they come out at all when you were yelling for help to get the dog, or?
When the dog realized we were there, it was just on a leash. It wasn't tethered, and it ran out of the driveway. And I thought it was the owner. The owner said, get back here, but he proceeded to run after me and my dog. And then he was he caught up to him, but it was too late. He already had bitten Bailey, and he was pulling him off. And when I helped him pull him off, I picked up my leash, and that's when the dog bit on me.
Thanks.
I was one of the witnesses, so I
Yes,
can
please.
testify as well. I had a few interactions with the dog.
If you could wait, we're gonna,
Yep.
you can introduce yourself,
Of
your
course.
name and address, and then you'll be sworn in.
Sure. My name is Brenda Clevenger, 134 Wimbledon Drive.
And do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matter
Yes.
now in hearing?
Yes.
Thank
So
you.
my first interaction with the dog was, I'm the house right to the left of the house that owns the dog, and I was sitting out my window and I saw the dog charge. This was about I was the one that called the first complaint. So the dog, like 2 days before that, the dog charged out the door and tried to attack a husky, and the guy managed to put the husky on his shoulders, and I ran out to the guy, you okay, you okay? And then 2 days later, walking down the road with my dogs, the dog comes charging down to me. I had enough sense just to kind of like tell the dog to stop, like really, really stern, and the dog did, and the guy come running down. But I had my little dog, and that dog had its hackles up. He was ready. And then we have like a group chat in the neighborhood, and there was a lady on there that said she saw the dog almost attack another dog that same day. So that's 3. And then when I heard her, a week later, I was sitting on my couch and I heard someone yell, help, help, and I knew. I said, it's that dog again. And I ran out, and she had gotten bit, just as she described everything. And that was my experience.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
it's definitely an issue.
Is the dog just very recently been brought to the neighborhood?
Yep.
Like in a matter of weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks. When I saw him charge the husky, that was the first time I had ever seen the dog.
I heard it's been there for a while because I walk routine down that, and I've never seen that dog. Never seen it. So I don't know if they kept it in the house or whatever, but I was told it's been there for a couple of months.
I've never seen it, and I live right next door,
Oh.
so.
When it charged you and your dog,
Mhm.
was it on a leash? Where did it come from?
It was just kind of wandering down the road.
Oh.
Yep. And then the guy come running down after his dog, like, oh, sorry. And I was like, you're not sorry. I was like, I saw that dog attack another dog the other day. You know? So.
Okay, Chief Stocks?
Mr. Levine, do you want to ask Attorney Chaplin if I need to swear in the police reports, or does anyone need any clarification on that?
I was planning on, yeah, we'll get to that. We're just talking about the incidents now. Thank you, good question. Any other questions, or would any other witnesses like to speak?
I'm her,
If you could sit down and introduce yourself.
I'm not a witness to it, I'm her sister, Christine Scala, at 38 Wimbledon
Okay.
Drive.
If you could, you'll be sworn in.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matter now in hearing?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Did you leave?
The person's here.
Oh, okay. Sorry, go ahead.
I wasn't a witness. I was at home, and a neighbor came and told me that my sister had been bitten by the pit bull. My point is, when I got there, she was sitting in a chair with all the neighbors around her. Bailey was brought by another neighbor limping with blood up to the house, and she was in shock. There was blood all over her shoes. Her hand was ripped open. And it's just, she was in shock of the whole thing. The dog's wound is infected now too. So it's just, we have so many people walking on that street with dogs, children in carriages. And if it was a child, I hate to think what would have happened. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you.
Is the man with the husky here?
I don't believe so.
No, I mean, I had
He had
a similar
Swear in.
experience, yep.
Name and address, please.
Brian O'Toole, 19 Wimbledon.
Attorney Chaplin.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matter now in hearing?
Yes.
Thank you.
So the week prior, I was walking my dog, the 15-pound Shih Tzu, and someone at the house was yelling, "Pick up your dog, pick up your dog." And I turned and looked, and the dog was running full speed at me. So I had to scoop up my dog and hold him and keep turning, and thankfully, I was close to the driveway and the owner was able to retrieve the dog. But I almost had a stroke when the dog came running.
Mm-hmm. Scary.
And similar to Chrissy, I worry about, there's tons and tons of, excuse me, little kids on the street riding bikes. Makes me very, very, very nervous.
Okay, thank you.
So I dodged a bullet.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, and we have, maybe the homeowner?
No, that's Lynn. I recognize them, and that's the person that reportedly was watching the dog for the reported dog owner that's incarcerated.
Would you please introduce yourself on the Zoom? You're on mute. Still can't hear you.
I don't think they know that they can't be heard because they're still talking.
You may have to call in. All right. In the meantime,
Do you have the ability to call in? I can put the phone number in the chat.
Marty Lee, in the meantime, can you tell us when you became involved? Or actually, I actually imagine Chief Stocks would probably become involved first, or the police department, if we could go in order.
Attorney Chaplin, I have my hand raised.
I apologize,
Sorry,
Chief.
I was trying
to get the
Waiting.
phone number.
You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matter now in hearing?
I do.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. As Marty Lee indicated, we're here for a dangerous dog hearing, a little unorthodox based on the circumstances. Incident originally started, our first report of the animal, which I believe is Sassy. Is that correct, Marty?
Yeah.
This is a pit bull type dog. It occurred on April 15th, as we have witnesses also testifying to. That was the initial report of a wild and aggressive animal, Sassy. Second incident was reported on April 23rd, as Ms. Scala testified to. That was the one that was very concerning. Marty Lee was, in typical protocol, notified of both incidents. The first incident, she looked into it, but as she indicated, there was no blood drawn, more of an unleashed dog. Kind of gave the admonishment to the people who were responsible for the animal, even though the owner is unavailable. Second incident on April 23rd occurred, which Ms. Scala was unfortunately the victim of a dog bite, as well as her animal, as well as the individual on the Zoom who's trying to get in right now, was injured trying to separate the animals. This incident, Marty Lee can testify in her own words, but basically took protocol in which she took the dog, placed it into quarantine, and we're here now trying to figure out what to do. It should be noted, my officers did make contact with the homeowner at 120 Wimbledon, the residence of the animal, after the April 15 incident. Despite not having any blood drawn, our officers tried to be a little proactive in the sense of the pit bull, not to unnecessarily deem all pit bulls dangerous, but based on the incident, based on the concern of the neighborhood, my officers went out to the residence, spoke with the homeowner to glean some more information as to, how long is this dog going to be here? Is it going to be temporary? Is it going to be long-term? Who is the rightful owner? The homeowner was cooperative, did indicate allegedly that she was not a big fan of the dog being there, but she didn't have a time frame in which the dog would be at the house. And unfortunately, as we know now, April 23rd happened, in which the dog got loose again. So I have both police reports. Attorney Chaplin was provided with both, as well as the photos of the injuries. And those are essentially the facts involved.
Thank you. And this dog is not registered? Okay. Do we know if this dog is registered in another town?
No, there is actually no address for this dog. That's what I was trying to explain. No one has given me an address, so I don't feel that I could even, it's a very different situation. I can't release it to anywhere in good faith, knowing that I don't know where this dog's gonna go. I don't know if it's had prior incidences in other towns. You can see, so.
Okay, let me see. I am not able to get the Zoom call-in number, so I will give this person another number to call.
Lynn, if you want to give my
I've got
work
it.
cell phone.
Let's see if this works.
While we're waiting for this to connect, is there anything else that you'd like us to know? Anything you witnessed, or any conversations you have with the homeowner or any of the caretakers?
The homeowner just kept saying, I'm not gonna forgive you, to one of the people that was reportedly watching the dog. They said the dog had been staying there, so that's important, I think, as far as the law. Attorney Chaplin can tell us, but I think the dog, it was being kept there. So that's, I think, what gives us the legal right to proceed, because we don't have an address for the dog, but because it was being kept in Long Meadow, I think we can. Again, that's what I'm looking for legal advice on. But
Yes, I agree with that. At the time of the incident, based on what I've reviewed, the dog was being kept at the address in question, and accordingly, the board has jurisdiction to hear the complaint.
Any luck, then?
I gave them my cell number.
Okay.
See, I do have a number now.
anybody else on the board have any questions while we're waiting for the?
I have a
Go ahead.
question. I guess I'm confused, so the homeowner's saying they don't know when the owner of the dog owner is coming back to the house to get the dog. They have no idea. That's what I'm confused. Because that person's incarcerated, and so they have no time frame. Don't you have some
It's,
sort
it's very complicated to answer because nobody gives me a straight story. I haven't gotten a straight, I've asked, is there an address? Is there an address for this person? I'm not getting any addresses for anyone even prior to the reported incarceration. I got multiple different answers on multiple different things. The homeowner does not want to be associated with the dog, but doesn't seem to be able to tell the people to leave. So has had the dog there. At least it appears for a while. That's what I was told that night, that the dog had been there for a while.
I was hoping to answer that question, perhaps with the person being sworn in, maybe get a more definitive answer for you.
Sorry to steal your.
No, that's quite all right.
It's just a confusing situation.
Yeah,
It's not cut and dry.
They're trying to avoid responsibility is what they're trying to do.
Attorney Chaplin, I don't know if this is, I guess it didn't make it on, did the email from today get attached to the agenda, Lynn?
Email from today.
Uh,
Oh, with the video?
Ring video?
No.
Okay. Attorney Chaplin, we also received a Ring video today from another neighbor who the dog charged at, and she picked up her dog, and there's a video of her running away and screaming. Is that something we can consider?
Since the rules of evidence don't strictly apply, I think it is. I might suggest to the board that if they feel they have enough based upon the eyewitness testimony, not to have the decision hinge upon that specific evidence. I mean, if the board members recognize the neighborhood from the Ring Cam video, then perhaps they can give it more weight. But I would just encourage the board, if at all possible, to base the determination on the eyewitness testimony that's in front of the board, as that makes next steps less complicated.
Okay, thank you. I've also never been in a situation where we can see somebody trying to get on and they are unable to.
They're gone now.
Uh,
They've dropped off.
There is a phone number for the person in the chat. I don't know if we're able to call that.
That's my cell number.
Oh, that's your cell number.
It's for
I'm
them to
sorry.
call here.
They're both listed as Lynn, so it is confusing. But I would prefer to keep the public hearing open until
Oh, wait.
this gets resolved.
This chat. Okay. It wasn't showing up. Okay.
Oh.
They didn't call us, so would you like me to try this number?
Please.
Hi, is this Lynn?
Is this for Lynn Rivera?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, hello?
Hi, this is the select board hearing regarding the dog.
I'm sorry about that. I don't know, somehow I'm blocked from interacting verbally. And I figured out a little way to type, but I'm just too nervous, you know, like, because I've never been through this before, and I'm really concerned about the dog and everything.
Okay, so if you could,
I was trying to say,
so I know you're nervous, so we're just going to ask you to slow down. Could you state your name and your address, please?
yeah, my name is Lynn Rivera, and my address right now is 46 White Street, but I was staying at 120 Wimbledon for a short period of time, but
No, hold on, please. And Attorney Chaplin is going to ask you to raise your right hand, and he's going to raise his right hand and ask you to swear, to go under oath.
Sir, do you
No.
solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matter now in hearing?
No, Lynn, you don't need to be on camera for this. You just need to swear. And so,
okay, just verbally?
yeah, listen to this question.
Okay. Yes, I
Do you
swear.
solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matter now in hearing?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. All right, so can you state your name, I'm sorry, your address again?
Okay, so my mailing address is 46 White Street,
Yep.
and
And what town or
I was
city?
staying with a friend of mine, Josh, on 120 Wimbledon.
46 White Street, in what town or city?
Springfield, Mass. Sorry about
Okay.
that. 01108, and my brother, who is the actual owner, but he's incarcerated, so I took care. I've been taking care of the dog since he's been in incarceration. So prior to that, Stassi was staying at 21 Amity Street in Springfield, Mass. 01108. Now, Stassi could go back there. There was just they had some cats there or something, and they were babies, and we're just waiting for them to get placed, and Stassi could go back there, and then I could give you the information.
How long is your brother going to be incarcerated for?
I'm not sure. The case is still pending.
Okay. What is the charge?
Yeah, well, basically, yeah, and I just basically been taking care of her since he's been in jail, because, you know.
What is the charge your brother is facing?
I don't know, something, there was I don't know, stolen car and something like that, and I don't know truly what, because I'm not actually in contact with him. So, but it's something about a stolen car.
How did the dog come into your care if you're not in contact with your brother?
Sassy and my brother, they were staying at 21 Amity Street. I was staying there briefly, but I was staying with Josh for a while, and we were waiting for the cats to get home, and then I was gonna head back there.
So, we heard of many, many incidents where the dog was out and running at people, and of course, attacking a dog and people.
Yeah,
if you're caring for the dog, how is this happening?
The dog got loose. She did have a chain on her, but Josh had put the dog outside, but he didn't secure her. So when she sees other dogs, she sometimes she'll go up, she'll play with them, and then sometimes it'll turn into a fight. I won't lie about that, but I do know like she is a great dog though. And the other dog, in other cases, like would bite at her, and so she will attack. I never had a pit bull before, but I had my mom had views on it, and I did, but the dog had nobody to care for it when my brother went to jail, and I got very, very close to this dog, and I love Sassy, and I'm sorry what happened. I'm truly sorry, and if there's anything I can do to, make amends with this lady, I'm more than happy to, and I don't know where to go from here. We're really stressed over this, and all I can say is I'm sorry that this happened.
Any other questions from the board?
Lynn, do you know if Sassy is licensed in the city of Springfield where she was living?
Okay, so that's one thing. I know my brother said she had, I haven't talked to him, because, he doesn't have a way to call or whatever, but, I do know she had her first shot, she said, but I don't know if she has a license, to be honest. If she did, I would think she would be wearing them.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Dan?
Oh, no.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you, Lynn. I'm curious, what is your relationship with the homeowner at 120 Wimbledon?
Oh, I'm really good friends with Josh. I've been friends with Josh for a long time, and he'd come over to my house, and we'd hang out and stuff, and he invited me to stay because the dog, the lady that lives at 21 Amity, she just had baby cats, kittens, and I didn't want the dog to eventually who knows, I wanted them to be separated, so Josh said we could bring them to his house.
And how long do you plan to stay at 120 Wimbledon?
Well, this was only temporary. I was there about 2 weeks or so. So I would say maybe another 2-3 weeks. I don't know, whatever long it takes for a kitten to be ready to leave their mom.
Okay, so then you and the dog Sassy, right now the plan is for you all to leave 120 Wimbledon and go to Springfield in 2 or 3 weeks.
Yes.
Is Sassy spayed?
Is she spaded?
Spayed.
Has
she been altered so she can't have puppies?
Oh, no, she hasn't been spaded, if that's what you're saying.
Anybody else from the board? Oh, go ahead.
Is it fair to say that Sassy moved out of 21 Amity Street because you were fearful that Sassy might harm the kittens?
Well, yeah, because there's more than 6 kittens, and if they're running around, I didn't want to take the, if I have to go somewhere and I have to leave Sassy, I don't know if, the cats get, the Sassy would get the cats or anything like that, because it's an animal, I don't know, because I never had experience like that. So I just, I was talking with Josh about it. He's like, bring her to my house, and when they get rid of, when they're ready to get rid of the kittens, we'll just bring her back. Because this is where my brother was staying prior to everything up until now.
And, Lynn, who is responsible for whether Sassy is on a leash or goes and, off the property? Is it you or Josh that's responsible?
I guess I didn't bring Sassy out that the night of the incident. Josh brought her out and put her on, I don't know, on a door jam or something like that. But she had her leash on, and when I saw that, I was picking up leads, and I look and I see Sassy run by me, and I see this lady and she with her dog, and then like Sassy had run after her, and she paused for a minute, and then the dogs started fighting together, and then I ran up, and then I got tangled in trying to break them up so nobody would get hurt, and in the midst of that, I even got bit.
Chief Stocks?
Can I ask a question, or I don't know if my voice will pick up on the speakerphone, but is it possible just to confirm, I know they're indicating that they are staying at 120 Wimbledon, and they were, because they were friends with Josh. The homeowner is Josh's mother. That's the legal homeowner. And it was my understanding at the time of this incident, as well as a week or two, maybe longer prior to, Josh was not at the residence. He was gone for an extended period of time.
I'm sorry, I heard some of what you're saying, but I couldn't hear.
You want me to grab the phone, Mr.
No, I think I can. Is it correct that for at least some of the time when you've been at the house, Josh has not lived there, or he has not been staying there, and his mother's the homeowner?
Yeah, his mom's the homeowner. Josh stays there. That's all I know.
Do you have any other questions? Yeah.
Lynn, where is the dog currently right now?
The dog is in East Long Meadow kennel.
I have.
And where would it be released to if it comes out of the kennel?
I would make arrangements with Carissa at 21 Amity Street to make sure, like she could be released on how long, like, would it be if we have to move the cat or whatever, because I didn't know this was gonna be like this, but there was never no incidents in Springfield with Sassy. This is the first incident,
Josh, do you have,
incidents where she ran, after other dogs.
Lynn, do you have a residence right now to even take care of the dog?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Do you have a residence to take care, where you could house this dog?
I do, but it would be, I'm in the medical facility right now. I would just have to talk to Carissa and ask her if the cat's, if how much longer the cats need or whatever, or if she would just give her to her sister to take care of him. So Sassy, because she loves Sassy. She loves Sassy just like I do, and she'd do anything for Sassy. So I would just have to touch base with her, and she has her own place on Amity Street, and and that's where that's what would happen.
So, Lynn, where are you living now? Are you living at Wimbledon? in Long Meadow, or where do you currently reside?
I was just staying with Josh for a little while. Like I said, the cats were born, and you know, I didn't want, you know, I wanted them to be free to roam around, you know, without you know, any incidents. You know, like I don't know how she's gonna react to the kittens or anything like that. So, like I said, I was only there for a couple weeks, and you know, I think I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks that cat stay with her mom. I'm not too sure, but I can talk to Teresa about that and move forward.
So where do you reside currently?
I'm sorry?
Where do you currently reside?
Well, I was staying at 21 Amity.
Yes, 21 Amity. So where are you sleeping at night? Are you staying at Wimbledon, or where are you staying currently?
Right now, I'm at the hospital. Cause I'm a nervous wreck over this.
Marty Lee, do we know how the dog is doing at, like, behaving at the kennel? Or is it fully quarantined from other animals? Like, do we know, are we getting any reports from the kennel?
You're breaking up, I'm sorry.
It's not a question for you.
Sorry, Lynn, I asked a question of our animal control officer.
No, the dog is at a private boarding kennel, and I would not want anyone who's paying to board their dog there to be.
So it's fully quarantined?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So I wouldn't want that
Yeah.
dog to have any interaction with anybody's animals there that are
Okay.
being privately
So
boarded.
it's just the caretakers who are interacting with
It's
the dog?
just being fed and kept for the required days.
Okay.
And then I have to decide, well, somebody has to advise me on what to do with the dog.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. I saw a hand in the back.
I was just wondering if there had been previous incidences in the other home.
It's a fair question. Lynn, do you know if there was any incidents with Sassy and other dogs or people at the Amity address or anywhere else?
No, there were no incidents where, you know, like what happened. I always just had her, usually with me. If I left, I would leave her with Carissa. But again, like, she had to have babies, and, you know, so I just took her. Josh is like somebody who comes over all the time, and he's like family.
Oh, so I have another question. So we heard from a lot of people here, and I don't know if you heard all of them, but we got a lot of reports of people seeing Sassy charge at people, run after people, threaten people and dogs. And it happened a number of times. Why didn't you stop it?
Well, so the first 2 times, like I said, I told you that Josh had put her out there. The second time we came from Costco, and I was driving, and Josh opened the door, and she saw another dog, and she went to run after the dog, but the dog, you know, never hurt the other dog, never
What?
got to.
Why did you let this dog run free? Or on a leash that?
It's not that I let her run free. She just likes most other animals, and sometimes, you know, it's give or take. You know, like if the dog, animal snaps back at her, she, you know, like I know it's my fault. Like she got loose. You know, like you know, again when Josh opened the door, you know, she only in my view, she only bit the one time the lady, and then there was another time where she almost bit I don't know. It's just gonna make me more alert to keep her, under control at all times. That's all I can tell you.
You have something to say?
From my perspective, my dog, Bailey, is a sweet dog. When Sassy approached him, he didn't even give him a chance. He immediately viciously attacked him. So to say that he would never hurt a dog, he hurt my dog.
I didn't say that. I said that I'd be more alert on taking, control of her and the surroundings, because again, like I'm shaken, I'm upset about this, and I'm sorry this happened, and it just raises my awareness, like, I myself physically have to, take care of this dog, because I formed a relationship with her.
I don't have any more questions. Anybody else? No? Okay. All right, thank you, Lynn. I don't know how
Also,
there's no more questions pending.
Dog training, I could get a spade is,
Lynn.
No more questions pending.
Lynn, the board is now going to start their discussion, and so there's no more questions of you at this time. So you can stay and listen, but they don't have any more questions for you.
Okay, thank you.
We have people here that may want to speak. If there's any more questions from the board, otherwise entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor? Okay. Well, thank you. All right, Attorney Chaplin, if you could tell us our next step.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Chair. So the next step is the board has to determine if Sassy fits within the statutory definition of a dangerous dog or a nuisance dog. I'll read those definitions into the record now, since that's the question that's currently before the board. So I'll start with a nuisance dog. The definition of a nuisance dog is a dog that, 1, by excessive barking or other disturbance is a source of annoyance to a sick person residing in the vicinity, or 2, by excessive barking causing damage or other interference, a reasonable person would find such behavior disruptive to one's quiet and peaceful enjoyment, or 3, has threatened or attacked livestock, a domestic animal, or a person, but such threat or attack was not grossly disproportionate reaction under the circumstances. So that's a nuisance dog. There's 3 ways to get to a nuisance dog. I'll next read the definition of a dangerous dog. And there's 2 ways to get to a dangerous dog. So a dangerous dog is a dog that either, 1, without justification, attacks a person or domestic animal causing physical injury or death, or 2, behaves in a manner that a reasonable person would believe poses an unjustified imminent threat of physical injury or death to a person or to a domestic or owned animal.
All right, thank you. So as we know from our previous dog hearings, our determination here is guides a bit what our remedies can be and what orders we can do. But I think we should make a finding first before we move on. And I see no reason, it's normally maybe a close call, but for here, I can't see how we can't find Sassy to not be, how we can't find that Sassy's a dangerous dog. We have heard of a number of incidents where the dog was threatening people and other animals, and in fact inflicted great damage and we're lucky that it wasn't more. And so that would be my inclination, as much as it pains me to do it, but I don't see how we can't.
I agree.
Well, so I guess I'm kind of looking at it a little bit differently. So, obviously there's the definition of a dangerous dog and a nuisance dog, but it's not just kind of how those words are regularly understood. It's how you know, the different remedies that we can provide under those definitions. And I know that if we say a dog is a dangerous dog, there are only certain things that we can order, where if, you know, even though this dog is a dangerous dog, if we deem the dog a nuisance dog, there are more remedies available to us. And I think this situation is just, it's an odd situation that we have this dog that doesn't really live here, nor do I think it should be released back to a homeowner in Long Meadow, because I don't know what responsible homeowner would actually be taking care of this dog. So I almost think that we should be working backwards a little bit here of trying to figure out what we want to do with the dog, and then we can decide whether that dangerous dog definition fits or the nuisance dog definition fits.
Well, here's where oh, go ahead.
If I may, just to be helpful, the statute explicitly states that the board cannot order the dog to be removed from the jurisdiction. So I just want to get that out on the table.
Is it, in your memo, it says, is that only for dangerous dogs or is that for any dog?
It's in section 157, so it applies to both dangerous dogs and nuisance dogs.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, Vineet, just to, on what you're saying, I think we found a dog, a nuisance dog, and then that dog killed another dog. And I can't, I don't know. I don't want us to be in a position where we have let something happen again.
I was gonna say, I wouldn't feel comfortable releasing this dog to another town or city where anyone else could be injured, unfortunately. And I have dogs, I love dogs, but I don't think this board can pass that danger on to anyone else. I think, for me personally, I think the dog fits under the definition of a dangerous dog, unfortunately.
That is the same as me. I've been dog officer for over 20 years, and I've never asked for a dog to be euthanized. I love dogs, but I don't feel in good conscience that I don't have an owner that could even give me any kind of assurance that they could keep this dog. I'd be very afraid to release this dog anywhere than if it, like you say, something worse happens. So I don't take this lightly. I think you guys know that.
Sure, and I apologize if what I said was misunderstood. Like, I think that is kind of what I wanted to hear, was what the actual recommendation was going to be, and to make sure that whatever this recommendation was that then we can kind of have the definition, you know, match up with that, basically.
Yeah.
I think you just hit it right in the head, Marty Lee. I mean, that's just hearing the testimony and the elephant in the room here is there's no one that is taking responsibility of ownership of the dog, and they're blaming somebody else who lives at the house, their friend. They're taking a dog out of Springfield because there's kittens there, because they feel that the kittens would be harmed. There's been multiple bitings on Wimbledon. We've heard from multiple neighbors. A woman, unfortunately, she has an infection now because of this. A dog is infected. I do understand what Vineet is saying, because we've gone through a lot of these where we do want to make sure.
I'm sorry, but I have to hang up now because the people gotta go home, and I can't. Is there any number I can talk to somebody?
At a different time, like tomorrow?
Yeah, like because the lady has to go home, and you know.
Sure. I'll give you a number. Sure, you can give a number. You can give my office a call tomorrow, and I can let you know the outcome of the hearing. But the board will be making a decision tonight. This will not be something that's continued.
Okay.
Okay. So the number is 413.
Yeah.
565 4110. 4110. 565
565
4110.
4140?
4110.
10. Okay, I'm sorry. So 565-4110.
Yes.
Okay, and your name?
Lynn.
Okay, Lynn.
Thank you.
All right. Is there a specific time I should call, or?
Any time that works for you.
Okay, thank you, Lynn. I
Thanks.
appreciate you. Thank you.
Take care. Good night.
Yep, you too. Bye.
I kind of lost my train of thought here, but yeah, I was just saying, you know, we go through a lot of these, unfortunately, and I think to Vinny's point, we've been able to leverage, considering the dog a nuisance dog, where we have more leverage to help try to mitigate anything in the future. I think after just the testimony and you know, seeing the information that was sent over to us as well, and I think a lot of us have our dog owners too, and the last thing we want to do is put a dog down. I just, in this situation, and this is a terrible situation, and I agree, I don't think that we can allow this dog to be back out into the public when there's no owner that is taking any authority of ownership and trying to provide a good, safe life for the dog and for the residents of Long Meadow, and especially the residents of Wimbledon. So I do agree with the board here in my long-winded comments.
I also agree, this is a dangerous dog.
All right, I will entertain a motion to find that Sassy is a dangerous dog under Chapter 157, Chapter 140, Section 157.
So moved.
Second.
Anything further? All those in favor? Okay, Attorney Chaplin?
So at this point, the board has to determine what the remedy will be. Because the finding has been dangerousness, the statute specifies 7 remedies that the board must choose between. So that there's a handout, I believe, in front of the board, so I'm not going to read it word for word, but I will summarize each of the 7. So the first is that the dog be humanely restrained. The second is that the dog be confined to the premises of the owner or the keeper. The third is that the dog be muzzled. The fourth is that the dog provide proof of insurance in an amount not less than $100,000 to cover injury claims. The fifth is that the owner provide the licensing authority, i.e. the board, or the animal control officer identifying information such as photographs or chip information for the dog. The sixth is that the dog be altered, so spayed or neutered, if that has not occurred already. And the seventh is an order that the dog be humanely euthanized. So the statute tells the board it must choose one or more of those 7 that I just read.
Said it many times, this is dog hearings are the worst thing we do, I think. And it does stick with me that we once tried to craft a remedy for a dog that we must have found was a nuisance dog that was a dangerous dog, and it killed another dog, and it stays with you. And I don't think that, as far as, I'm not a veterinarian, but I don't think that spaying a dog necessarily helps with aggressiveness. And I think it's been, even in just a few weeks, we saw that this dog is very aggressive and is not controlled. And that's not the dog's fault. That's the owner's fault. And I can't put a dangerous dog back out there. It's a terrible situation.
You want to ask Marty her recommendation? Elaborate.
I didn't understand your
Do you
question.
want to give a recommendation based on your experience in this situation?
Well, I think I just stated it a couple minutes ago.
Yes.
I feel as sad as Josh does. But I can't really recommend anything other than euthanasia. And I have as you said, we did actually deem another dog. I thought we deemed it dangerous, but we used one of the other options that he had of really trying to put orders on it and muzzle and all that, and then they didn't listen and the dog went and hurt another. So in this case, we don't even have anybody to, it's just real clear, none of those other options are even available, 1 through 6. So euthanasia is the only option.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at too. It's just, because, that one incident obviously was very unfortunate. We never wanted it to happen. I hope that we're not just going to be euthanizing dogs because of
I
that
would
one
never.
incident. But here, like I said, there's nobody to release this dog to. There's no way for us to even craft another solution or try to work with anyone or do anything here. And so, yeah, it's unfortunate that, like Marty Lee said, that there's no other really choice left.
I concur. I think that euthanasia is unfortunate, but in this situation, there's none of these other remedies. Can we have confidence in, or are adequate to ensure the safety of people in the neighborhood, whether in Longmeadow or anywhere else this dog will be residing, if they were to move away from our town. So that's the way I think about it.
All right, do we have a motion?
We have to motion what we're suggesting?
Yes.
Or how does that have to be?
We have to move for the remedy.
I'll try it, but nobody can, break up a little bit. I make a motion to humanely euthanize Sassy under the dangerous definition.
Second.
All right, anything else? Really, I'm gutted. That, I was hoping we would never have to do this, but I think it's warranted. And I thank you all for coming tonight. I know it's difficult, but we appreciate it. All right, all those in favor? Thank you.
You've taken a lot of hard votes, and that must be probably the hardest vote, I'd say, that I've had to take here.
Yeah.
It's
But-
very hard for her to have to, for Margaret, to have to do this to a dog. There's no greater person who's an animal lover as she is. So I know how she feels also.
But I guess take the comfort in, it could be saving a child.
Oh, no,
that's-
please, I'm not disagreeing with you at all.
Can we take a
I'm just saying,
3-minute
I
recess?
absolutely agree with you.
Thank you, Attorney
I know how
Chaplin.
she feels
Thanks.
too.
3-minute recess. Thank you, Attorney Chaplin.
Good night, thank you.
Believe me, I hate this, Rob hates this, but none of us want to be here over.
Are you guys all set? Want another minute?
No, we're all set, thank you.
Okay. All right, I'll just let you go when you're ready.
Okay, thanks. All right, Lynn, we are about halfway through the town manager's report. I'm gonna go back to that.
Okay. So regarding the net metering solar credit cash out, you may recall we went back and forth with Department of Revenue late last year regarding creation of a revolving fund for our cashed out net metering credits. This had been an article on the fall town meeting warrant, but ultimately we requested no action at that meeting while we sought an opinion from DOR legal counsel regarding our plan to create a revolving fund to put this money in and then the future net metering cash out funds. DOR's position has not changed, and while I would like to push this issue, I don't think it's a good use of our time or town council's time. And so with the select board's agreement, I would like to direct Eversource to issue the check to us. It's $886,000. It would then be deposited into our miscellaneous revenue account and certified with free cash that we would then be able to allocate in the fall. We could then plan a use for those funds for our fall town meeting. And I think I had previously expressed I was hoping to use those funds towards energy efficiency efforts. But obviously, if it's a free cash article, we could have any sort of use for it. So that's an update on that, and I'm just looking for some sort of consensus to have Eversource issue that check and knowing it will come in as free cash. And then I have a legal expense update. This is our quarterly legal expense update. We are doing fairly well with where things have been trending over the last few years, and not anticipating any shortfalls at all as we close out the fiscal year or get closer to closing out the fiscal year. And then accessory dwelling units, there is a survey that has launched. It's brief 10-question one. We're helping put the word out with the planning department and our housing authority. There is a link on the town website for people to help guide planning efforts in the development of ADU design guidelines and standards. Sorry, I misspoke, not housing authority. This was, that was something else I was thinking of, but this is the ADU design guidelines and standards that are currently in development with the planning board. And they are looking for residents to complete this survey just to help guide what those guidelines will end up ultimately being. The project is funded through a planning assistance grant that was awarded by the Massachusetts Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs, and it's going to be used to create a set of design guidelines and standards that are tailored to meet the town while also keeping us in compliance with the ADU bylaw. And I'm happy to report that the Future Building Use Task Force has been meeting. They've held several meetings and also had an opportunity to tour the 3 buildings. A community engagement strategy is being developed. They're attending some public events in the near future to seek feedback from residents. And there's a form on the town website to just gather that feedback anytime someone wants to submit a question or a thought or an opinion. You can go to the longmeadowma.gov website and go to the Future Building Use Task Force page, and it's linked right there. And that concludes my report. I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
I just had one quick question on the free cash. If that goes into free cash, could we use it for anything we want? So like, I'm thinking of the budget conversation we had and the school committee had, we don't have to talk detail now, but as an example, the FTE they had to eliminate from their budget. Could that go to fund that for one more year, or is it not allowed to be used for something like that? Because it's a...
Once anything goes to free cash, yes, it could be for any use.
Okay.
You do have a free cash policy that generally stays away from using free cash for recurring funds because their free cash is a one-time fund.
Okay.
But we can certainly discuss it.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else for Lynn or on the monthly reports? Seeing none, we'll go on to 13B, delivery of marijuana and marijuana products from the CCC.
Thank you.
Lynn, can you explain this?
Yep. So this is relatively new. but we received this bulletin between your last meeting and tonight. There has been a change by the Cannabis Control Commission through this new act that was signed by the governor. And Longmeadow has not allowed marijuana sales in town. And up until this new act, that also carried over to delivery. That is now going to change, and delivery will be allowed unless you opt out. And opt-outs are good for 2 years. So I'm bringing this to your attention. You don't need to do anything with it tonight unless you wanted to. The Cannabis Control Commission is still in the process of developing the actual form that you would fill out to opt out. But I did want to put this on your radar because it is an action that you would need to take if you did want to prohibit delivery in town.
Is there a fiscal benefit to allowing delivery in town?
That is a good question, and I don't have an answer on that. I'm not sure that I don't know if the sale is at the transaction of the establishment or if it's at the delivery point. That I'm not sure about, so I can find out.
I know like for some e-retailers should at least be paying state tax for where they deliver, but I don't know if it matters locally. So I think that's something important for us to consider.
Lynn, do we have any kind of recommendation or thoughts from the police department just on either what's known about cannabis delivery and anything associated with that? I think that would be interesting to hear their opinion if they have one.
Great, I'll get that as well. And potentially Public Health Department or Board of Health?
Yeah, I was trying to think of the other department. I couldn't think of which one. Yep.
So I'll bring this back when I have more information.
Is there a deadline we have to opt out? I didn't see
No,
that.
it's still in review.
Okay.
They're going to issue further guidance and an application procedure and timelines.
Okay. I didn't see a date, but I didn't know if I missed it or if there was another article. Okay.
Not yet, but we'll be closely watching this, so I can't imagine we'll, extend this out 6 months or anything.
Okay.
All right, anything else on that? I skipped over old business completely. So if we can first look at the April 6th minutes.
I'll make a motion that we approve the April 6, 2026 minutes as written.
Second.
Any further? All those in favor?
I'll make a motion that we approve the April 16th, 2026 minutes as written.
Second.
Any further? All those in favor?
Oh, abstain. I think I wasn't here for that.
Oh, all right.
Thank you.
Yes. Any abstentions?
Excuse me.
Yes. One abstention. Okay, and presentation on Article 7 at town meeting. That's the fiber article. So, Beneath, if you'd like to speak.
Yeah, so this came up because obviously with articles that are of high interest where I think residents at town meeting would benefit from presentation, usually a presentation is done. So the question here was who would be the proper party to give a presentation on this article? And the town moderator advised that since this is a select board proposal, that the select board could give a presentation or could delegate somebody to give a presentation for the select board. And so, I thought it might be better for us to delegate it out to somebody else to give a presentation. And Ben Brown, who was on the Municipal Fiber Task Force, the last time a presentation was given about the design and engineering application and creating the MLP, he was the one that gave the presentation. I thought he'd be a good person to give a presentation at town meeting on this article. He's someone that was with the task force the whole way through, knows the project as well as anyone, and even in his, in his own career, he runs the UMass internet system, and which serves I think 7 or 8 times the number of people that the town of Longmeadow would, and so somebody that's very familiar with the technical side of this, the financial side of this, and also the statutory requirements and everything like that. So I think he would do a good job here. And, so this would just be a vote to delegate giving the presentation to him.
I think it's a good idea. And as you said, when we are spending big bucks, potentially, the more information we get out to the voters, the better. So I think that's, this is a good way to do it. Anything else from us on the board? You want to move any?
Yep, I will move to delegate the Article 7 presentation at town meeting to Ben Brown.
Second.
Anything further? All those in favor? All right, you just need us to vote for, or to approve to this annual town meeting sign, Lynn?
No, this is the election warrant,
Oh, jeez. what am
so
I
that
doing?
ballots can be ordered.
What did I just look at?
Early voting schedule, maybe?
Yes.
I will move to set the June 2nd, 2026 annual town election warrant.
Second.
All right, anything further? All those in favor? Do you have that for us to sign tonight, or do you want that done, or you do it electronically?
We'll do that electronically.
Okay. All right, now I saw, here's the sign.
And I just so it's abundantly clear, we have to order ballots
Mm.
now, because in order to get them in time for early voting and by June 2nd, they need to be ordered now. If Article 7 fails, the question on the debt exclusion will still be on the ballot, because ballots are ordered now. We can't wait until after town meeting. So just so that it's very clear.
That's a good point, that's
But
it's
if it
in our
doesn't,
charter.
if it were not to pass, then it would be moot. Like it would have
No.
no action, or?
No, there's another community that just went through this, not for a fiber article, for something else. If it fails at town meeting, but it's on the ballot, and it passes at the ballot by majority vote, you can call a special town meeting to revote the borrowing authorization.
You can but don't have to.
Right.
And this has a 50% threshold
And
rather
what,
than 2/3.
the calling a town meeting is up to the select board again? Or?
The
if
what?
it-
I'm sorry.
So if it fails a town meeting and then passes 50% at a vote, then who decides if there's gonna be a special town meeting again? The
Well,
select
you
board?
could call it, or a citizen petition
I
could
see.
do it.
And is there a time frame in which that town meeting would have to be called?
Good question. I'll get back to you on that.
Probably, right, some kind of,
I don't know. I don't know how long the ballot vote, I mean, I
Isn't that-
think the
that-
ballot vote's good forever, but,
oh,
Oh.
But
Like, I
that
don't-
town meeting would also have to be 2/3 again.
yes.
So I remember for the school, we talked about which one we wanted to do first. And it wasn't, I mean, logistically, it makes sense to do the 2/3 vote first, but,
Yep,
yeah.
which is what we're doing.
Right, but I don't remember if there was some sort, because there's not necessarily something triggering a law that says if you pass a town election question, you have to have a special town meeting. It would just be
Right.
when we'd want to do it, yeah, okay.
And then with this, when we had the zoning change, remember, it failed at the
Mhm.
church, but that was there was 2
2
years.
years.
We had to wait 2 years. We don't have to wait 2 years should
No.
this
That's a
happen.
zoning bylaw, that's a quirk of 40A.
Okay.
Is the printing, it's because, is it anything to do with early voting, or is it?
Yes, and just in general.
And just January,
Yeah.
June 2nd would be not enough time.
Right, and
Okay.
early voting just condenses that even
That's
more.
right, okay.
Okay.
right, because early voting, I mean, absentee in person starts in 2 weeks,
Mhm.
basically, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I will move to set the early voting and absentee voting in-person dates as attached to the agenda.
Second.
Anything further? All those in favor? Okay, Len, Budget Task Force.
Okay, so this is something I've been working on, and I've floated this idea informally to many people. There is a draft here for you tonight to look at. This is structured as a town manager budget task force. I have modeled this after several others across the state that other communities are grappling with this same topic right now. And essentially what this would do is create a task force that would work for a condensed amount of time. So I'm thinking something like June through December where there would be a recommendation made by the task force to the joint meeting of the Select Board, School Committee, and Finance Committee. This is not just looking at next fiscal year's budget, it is looking at the next 5 fiscal years. This budget deficit that we're in is not projected to go away anytime soon, and I need a consensus of people to come together and really have some tough conversations about what is a core service that we are maintaining, what are we looking at doing differently, or what are some potential alternate revenue sources that we might be able to explore. I've structured this as a select board member participant, a finance committee member participant, school committee, town manager, superintendent of schools, finance director, school business manager, and then 4 members of the public appointed by my office. I did feel like it was important to have an impartial chair. Not that I think any of these people would not be impartial, but someone that was not myself or the superintendent. And so it calls out the areas where someone could be chair, and then it breaks the work out here. I'm not asking for anything from you tonight because I know this is a lot to take in, but I would appreciate your feedback just as I finalize this scope. I am going to put a call out though for members of the public to submit interest because I do want this to start in June. And then I'm hoping we can finalize this scope at the next meeting. I have already had some very preliminary conversations with the superintendent of schools who was very supportive of this effort and was happy to take part. I would also like to share a copy with the school department as well.
Yeah, I think this is a fantastic idea. I circulated with at least some members of the board an article in, I think it was in the Times or Globe this week about Methuen and their budget troubles and have a $10 million gap on their school budget. And they're having to make hard decisions now on the ground, and we're seeing it with South Hadley. And it's going to keep happening, and the more we can get ahead of it and identify things that we're willing to lose or to not maintain the level we do, and if there's nothing we are comfortable doing that on, what we're willing to do to get over the hump. And it's a really, really hard. There's could be some very hard decisions coming up, and we got a lot of smart people in town. I think it'd be really, you could have some great conversations. So I think this is an excellent idea.
I agree. I think it's a really great idea. I like it.
I agree. I like that it's also kind of not during a budget season. It's kind of like in a time when there's no pressure. It's just forward thinking, and I think it'll be the best scenario for getting a lot of, everyone comes in with an open mind and then think about brainstorming and then come up with the best recommendation. So I think it's a good timing.
I agree, and I think it'll help us for next year this time too. So I agree. I think the timing is very smart.
Yeah, I think in other towns around us, you're seeing this happen kind of after the crisis has really exploded, like in East Hampton or South Hadley. So this is good that we're getting in front of this. The one representative, and I don't know who this would be because the capital planning committee, building committee, that is kind of in flux right now, but it almost seems like someone with that kind of expertise or that interest in our town buildings, having them at the table would, I think, be useful. But again, because those committees are in flux, I'm not sure who that would be, but I don't know if there's a way we could think about making sure that perspective is represented.
I thought the DPW would be pretty important, but I assume the town manager would be the person who's the most knowledgeable about those aspects of our projects. Lynn, do you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
And once you start to include one,
then you have the
then
second tier.
police,
The second tier wedding
fire,
invite
right.
is now, we've opened it up Pandora's box with
Yep.
50 people. Okay.
I read this as this task force would be able to tap into those resources and expertise to help them have conversations and kind of form opinions, right? That's, I think that's, okay, that's how I read it.
What is the thought for like a cadence of having meetings and updates to the select board?
Well, I've structured this so that it will follow open meeting law, and then I would anticipate regular updates either by myself in my manager's report or from the select board liaison.
Thank you for pulling this together.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I will, this week you'll likely see a call for residents to submit, statements of interest in being on this, while we work to finalize this actual scope. So if you have any thoughts on the scope, feel free to send them to myself or Ian, and we'll look to see if we can incorporate it. And then I'll bring it back on the 18th for, I guess, your vote, just to, put us all in agreement on moving forward.
And then would we also be, if they're gonna start meeting in June, when do we wanna appoint the public members?
So because it's a town manager task force, I just appoint them.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yep, so we did something similar with the Complete Streets Committee, that worked pretty well. And the long-range plan, although that did go through planning board at one point, where we did interviews. My office does the interviews, they're usually just virtual, myself, and this time it will be Mike sitting in. Hopefully we have more than 4 people interested, so we have a good selection. And then I just send out letters appointing someone.
We'll have to appoint somebody from
Yes.
our board, though.
Yep.
I just have one, are you gonna send out this document as part of the advertisement or the call for action? Okay.
No. Just because it's draft, I know it will likely change a little bit.
Oh, I didn't mean, I mean the final version of this. Is that what you're planning to use?
No, because I want to start advertising for it this week, so I'll likely greatly summarize this to just put out a quick something.
Okay. I was asking just because when I was going through that the first scenario is override.
Oh, yeah,
Just,
yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
switch those around.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Well, thank you for doing that. I think that this is, it's smart. It was something that, kind of akin to what we were talking about with the Prop 2.5 task force, which
Yep.
I think is a little farther on our horizon than we thought it was going to be. But this is a great thing to get ahead of. Forward to seeing more.
Agreed.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.